Okay, never mind. I'll hold my camera in my hand. Okay, so what I have is the compound hydrochloric acid. So step number one that I'm going to do, I'm going to check my valence electrons. For hydrogen, I have one hydrogen, so that will be one electron. And for chlorine, I have one of them, that will be 7 electrons. Valence electrons. I have to be clear here, valence electrons. Okay, so when I look at this, I count my valence electrons. That's the first step that I'm going to do. How many valence electrons do I have? Now, the next thing, I'm going to start drawing my Lewis structure. Now, for the Lewis structure, we have two different choices. We can put the hydrogen in the middle, or we can put the chlorine in the middle. When we look at this one, we're going to say which one of them is the least electronegative. Which one of them is the least electronegative, right? And for that one, we know that for electronegativity, fluorine has a value of 4. Chlorine is about 3.7, 3.8, something like that. And hydrogen is very weak. So hydrogen is the least, and we're going to put that in the middle. It's the one with the lowest the lowest electronegativity number. And again, you look at your periodic table, you read the numbers off, and that's it. That's where you get the information from. Okay, so for this one, let's go back here. I have hydrogen, and this is going to be my central. Now, when I was in school, I would usually use different color pens, and my central atom is going to be my hydrogen. And you really want to know which one is your central atom, especially when you work with smaller molecules, because when you fill your valence electrons, you're going to start on the corners, and you're going to work your way towards the hydrogen in the middle. Okay, so there's my central atom, and I have my chlorine here. Okay, now I need to fill 8 electrons. The first thing I do is I make a single bond between every of the elements. That's the first thing that I do. I give everybody a single bond. Now I know for each of the single bonds, that is representative of 2 electrons. 2 electrons. So I need 8 electrons, valence electrons. I have 2 valence electrons. So I'm going to start on the outside. Remember, this is my central atom, the one with the lowest electronegativity number. That's the central one. I already have 2 here, so I have 8 minus 2. I have 6 electrons left. I'm going to start on the outside, and we know that we need to fill in 6 valence electrons. Okay, so now I have to check, does chlorine have a full octet? Well, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so chlorine already complies with the octet rule. We know at the same time that hydrogen can only ever form a single bond. Hydrogen is too small to have space for any lone electrons on the outside. It cannot have any electrons sitting there alone. Okay, so here we have our chlorine with 6 electrons on the outside. These are 3 electron pairs, lone electron pairs. That's what we call them. They're a pair, 2 electrons together. They are a pair, they are sitting alone, and they are forming these empty shells on top. When you just have 2 atoms, it doesn't really make a difference because it will always be planar. Okay, so that's how we draw the Lewis structure.